every continent has their dominant console. This is just how it is. The U.S. doesn't really have one. It changes every once in a while, but for generations, Europe, with the exception of France and UK, it has been dominated by mostly one console, PlayStation. Okay, and this has been, the way it was for like the past 20 or 30 years. So Nintendo and Xbox have never really done well in Spain. It's like PlayStation has always been dominating the market in Spain. And the thing is, 4chan screaming that Nintendo's pretender, your strategy is about to kill Nintendo once and for all. Karma is a crap as well. Okay. But here's the thing: it's Spain. Okay, a country that is mostly been dominated by PlayStation for a long, long time. So it's gonna be very, very hard for Nintendo or any other gaming company to really make a dent in PlayStation in Spain because, for example, you could go to a soccer or football game and how it's known in Europe, and they're literally promoting PlayStation. They're not promoting Nintendo. They're not promoting Xbox. You can in the World Cup, they're literally having how how in the Mario Kart games and Mario sports games they have fictional Mario stuff advertisements. They really had an advertisement for the PS5 and the FIFA game for Spain and for some other country, and they had PlayStation advertisements everywhere. PlayStation is kind of the console of choice of Europe, unfortunately. As much as we don't like PlayStation and Sony on this channel, so we have to admit that in some countries like India and of course Europe and probably even South America, PlayStation out of the big three are the console of choice. It's the console of choice as well. Okay, Nintendo has Japan and I think maybe Korea, but again, Korea doesn't really care for Nintendo because it's a Japanese company. But I think Korea and China it's PC. Nintendo it's Japan. US it's battle between PlayStation and Nintendo as Xbox doesn't have anywhere. Okay, maybe Mexico might be Xbox, but even there, PlayStation might have surpassed Xbox in popularity now, given the decline of the Xbox almost everywhere as well. Okay, the last time Xbox won in the US, I think, was with the 360 as well. Then PlayStation won until the Switch 1 came out, and then the Switch 1 as well. But Spain is okay, when it comes to the, Spain and Europe, okay, also, the games are quote-unquote underperforming, even though the Switch 2 doesn't really have many console, it's only been out for a couple of months as well. Okay, the PS5 is 5 years old and has a much larger install base than Nintendo, okay, as well, okay, but Sony, again, no surprise that Sony is, winning in Europe, especially Spain and Portugal. Well, PS5 is the number one console, and even the PS2 and even the PS3, which is generally regarded as a flop console, is still sold well because of Europe. Goodbye.